Hi friends, today I am going to show you how to send emails from an Angular application using NodeMailer. Client-side applications like Angular cannot send emails directly. We need to use server-side code to handle this. Let me explain this using an app I have deployed on Netlify. Here, users can enroll in plans using this form. Let me fill this out with a test email address. When I click register, the app shows a success message. In the background, it triggers two emails, one to the user confirming their registration and one to me with the form details. Now let me show you how I built this. It is very simple. First, I need to create a folder and run this command inside it to initialize npm. I can press enter to choose the defaults. This creates the package.json file. Next, let me install Express. Then let me create a file called index.js. Now let me open this in VS Code. Inside index.js, I need to import the Express framework. Next, let me call Express to create an application instance. I want to run this server on port number 5000, so let me create a variable for the port. In production, we usually get this value from an environment variable. Next, I should define a route. I am going to use the get method. So let me use app.get to register a route handler. This method accepts a path and a function with request and response parameters. For now, let me use / as the path and send a simple response message. Finally, I need to start the server using app.listen. This function accepts a port number and a callback function. Let me pass the port variable and log a message in the console. That's it. Now let me run index.js using Node. As you can see, the server is running. We can also open this in the browser and we can see the message. So now you understand how to start a simple Express server. Next, let's see how to add email sending logic. First, I need to install the NodeMailer package. Then let me import NodeMailer. After that, I need to configure NodeMailer. This means telling NodeMailer how to send emails. For this, I need to use the createTransport method. This method takes an object with configuration properties. For the service, let me use Gmail. You can also use Yahoo, Outlook or other email services. For authentication, let me provide an object with user and pass. The user is the email address from which we send emails. The pass is the app password, not the actual Gmail password. I'll show you how to create the app password at the end of this video. Instead of hardcoding these values, it is better to store them in environment variables. Now the configuration is ready. Next, I need to create a route to send emails. This will be a post request and let me name the route send email. Since this is a post request, I need to read data from the request body. For that, I need to add middleware to parse JSON data. Now I can extract the email address, subject and email content from the request body using object destructuring. Next, I need to call the NodeMailer send email function. This function takes mail options and a callback function to handle errors. In the mail options, let me pass the from address, to address, subject and email content. Let me also handle both error and success cases. If there is an error, let me log it and return a response with status code 500. If the email is sent successfully, let me return a response with status code 200. That's it. The email sending logic is almost ready. Let me start the server. The server is running. Now let me move to the Angular application. I'm not going to explain all the code in the Angular application. Let me focus on the register component. Here I have an email register function. When the user submits the form, this function is called. First, I'm showing a loading spinner. Then I'm collecting all the form data and creating a request object. This part is used to store data in Firebase. So let's skip that. The email related code starts here. I need to call the send email endpoint from the Express server running on port 5000. I'm going to use the post method. In the request body, let me pass the user's email address, the email subject, and the email content. Let me use template literals to easily build the email content. Then let me handle both success and error responses. Similarly, I need to make another post request to send a second email to my own email address. This email notifies me that a user has enrolled and includes the form details. In this case, the to address is hard-coded to my email. The email content is created using the form data. Okay, let me test this. The form is submitted, but I did not receive any email. If we check the server console, I see that no request was received. Let me check the browser console. We can see a CARS error. CARS stands for Cross-Origin Resource Sharing. CARS is a browser security feature that controls how one application can access resources from another origin. Even though both applications are running on localhost, they are running on different ports. The Express server runs on port 5000 and the Angular app runs on port 4200. Because of this, the browser blocks the request. To fix this, I need to handle CARS on the server side. That's why I said earlier that the email logic was almost ready. Let me fix this now. First, let me stop the server and install the CARS package. Then I need to import CARS. Next, I need to add CARS middleware. Let me use the CARS function and pass an object with configuration options. In the origin array, I need to add the Angular application URL. In the methods array, let me specify the allowed HTTP methods. For now, we allow only post. Now let me restart the server and test again. This time the emails are successfully received. I hope you now understand how to use NodeMailer to send emails from an Angular application. Before we close, let me show you how to create an app password in Gmail. You need to go to Gmail and click Manage your Google account. Make sure two-step verification is enabled. Then you need to search for app passwords and open it. If two-step verification is not enabled, you will not be able to see this option. Now you can enter an app name and click Create. This will create an app password which you can use in your code. That's all for today, friends. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please hit the like button. See you soon with another interesting topic. Thank you. Bye.